Okay, so people, I decided to get round to checking out Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. This is the full film, right? The full film in this new interpretation of the franchise. Right? Wes Ball directs, Josh Friedman writes the script. The film is produced by Wes Ball, even. Joe Hartwich Jr., Rick Jaffa, Jason Reed, and Amanda Silver. It's executive produced by Jeno Topping and Peter Cherman, associate produced by Maura Gagmon. John Passano took care of the music. Goya Pados is on cinematography. Dirk Westervelt and Dan Zimmerman edit the piece. Dylan Jury and Deborah Zane handled the casting, while Daniel T. Dorrance is production design. Art direction, we have Carlo Cressini, Tony Dew, Vaughan Flanagan, Ian Gracie, Jenny Hitchcock, and Dale Mackey. Ken Chocolate, Beverly Dunn, and Blake Muir are set decoration. Costume design is Maze C. Rubio. And our cast. Well, Noah is voiced by Owen Teague. Proximo is voiced by Kevin Durand. Raka is Peter Macon. Sylvia is Eka Darville. Anaya is Travis Jeffrey. Suna is Lydia Peckham. Harrow is Neil Sandylans. Lightning is Ras-Samuel. Dar is Sarah Wiseman. Oda is Caden Shah. We have Maurice is Karen Noble. Corinia is Dickon Latchman. We have Travafon, the upper human, is William H. Macy. And May Nova is Freya Allen. Yeah, that's the main group. The gist of the film is this. The new Apes movie is set many years after the conclusion of 2017's War for the Planet of the Apes. Many ape societies have grown from when the Moses like Caesar brought his people to an oasis, while humans have been reduced to a feral-like existence. Some ape groups have never heard of Caesar, while others have contorted his teachings to build burgeoning empires. In this setting, one ape leader begins to enslave other groups to find human technology, while another ape who watched his clan be taken embarks on a journey to find freedom. A young human woman becomes key to the latter's quest, although she has plans of her own. So yes, that's the story. Now we start off with, Caesar being put to rest. And they, it's kind of a bit of a Vikings send off, as it were, which is all fine, all good, right? Then you get a note like generations later. So we don't really know how far in the future, but generations, that's a while, right? That's not 10 years. we're talking maybe few hundred years. And essentially, we're seeing Noah's clan, interact, their kind of rituals and all of this before Proxima comes, which is, it's interesting seeing the background and everything like that. I was a little, because, you know, it's generations in the future, right? And the way that, the synopsis breaks it down, that we've got all of these different societies of ape. But when we have Noah and his clan, there's no like, oh, we need to watch out for the other clan. You know what I mean? There doesn't seem to be any, yeah, there might be animosity there we have to be careful of. And it just seems a bit of a shock when Proxima turns up. But it's just like, wait, if there's other societies out there, there's gonna be friction. I mean, we know how apes are like humans, right? They clash, groups clash, you know? Also, there's not as many males in a society, right? You have one dominant that fucks all the women, and then you have a few who then decide to, are subservient for a while before they challenge. That's how it is. So it is kind of like, yeah, the way, people have kind of superimposed these new ways on apes is kind of odd, is a little odd, right? But yeah, I thought it was a bit interesting, a bit kind of like, wait, no one is worried about these other societies, potential clashes, anything like that. But anyway, so Proxima has come. We have the whole thing about, May, right? Nova, our human. And which I think they either called novas or echoes, which I'm just like, wait, what is it? What are we calling these people? Right. But anyway, she's in trousers and a kind of a tank top type of thing, which is a little bit like, if we're so far in the future, are humans really going to be wearing kind of traditional clothing? Wouldn't it be more schmucks, right? More kind of things like that, trousers. We do see these other humans who are in different kind of more cavemanish type of fare. The other thing that's kind of weird about the humans, you kind of feel, if we're generations now, there should be changes, right? Skin pigment. Because essentially you're thinking, okay, they out more outside, which would mean the skin would be darker, right? Also, there would be more body hair. You'd think, to counter the fact that we don't make clothes anymore like we did. There's no big jackets. So you would need more body hair to kind of keep warm, protect you from the sun, all of these different things. So there'd be more body hair. But even if there's not, humans haven't evolved to have more hair, just the hair you have would be growing, right? There's no big razors, there's no Gillette. So underarm hair is getting longer, facial hair, all of these things, right? We're not getting a nice little trim at the barbers, right? There'd be all of these kind of things that are happening that we don't see. So just those things that seem a bit odd. But I think you've just got these supposed different plans. Like the whole plan of Proximas with technology isn't necessarily that clear. I didn't really think that was very clear. And then when we see all the apes together, together, it's, I don't know, it didn't seem like anyone's enslaved, right? Where is the kind of dictatorship, the subjugation? There's certain things that I thought could have been shown more, right? When the way everything plays out, right? And then, as we're getting towards the end, how does someone find out about a thing that's going on? That's not clear. There's like, they obviously found out through someone, but who? You know what I mean? How? Well, where did that come from? Also, when you're looking at people's actions, I don't think we're getting the end that we got in that final meeting. I don't think that's happening. After everything that goes down? Really? Yeah, that was weird. I thought that was weird because, you know, eh, anyway, like there's so much, there's things you can't really talk about, right? Without giving mad stuff away and all of that. So I'm not looking to do that, people, But I just thought there's these interactions that don't necessarily make any sense. Don't necessarily make any sense. Yeah. It's like, why are people helping? Why won't, certain things go? It should be clearer. I think the look is great, right? The way you can see that there's these old skyscrapers that have now gone to nature. So it looks like you've just got this kind of forest, but they're not really trees. They're skyscrapers that are now covered in foliage and all, like that kind of thing. Yeah, makes sense. I like that. That looks good. All of that looks good. You know what I mean? I also, another thing I'd wonder about, right? Because the apes have eagles. Would these things not get bigger? Right? Like, because when we think about back in the day, and I'm going to say back in the day, I'm talking about prehistoric times and all of that, right? Eagles were bigger, bears were bigger, like animals, predators were bigger. So if we're going generations, would we not see that start to happen again? Because, humans aren't killing all of these creatures like they used to. Now, not to say people aren't killing them, but not to the same extent. So that should change the evolution of these animals. So there are things in this film that work so well, are great. Other things where you're just like, I don't know. The other thing as well, right? When apes attack each other, they really fuck each other up, right? They'll rip fingers off, genitals off, like rip out eyes, tear off ears, all of this kind of stuff. But in this, not so much, right? I just think in the nature of what's going on, right? These fights for survival and everything like that, make it make more sense. Because this isn't humans, these are apes. And then also humans have devolved into something different, right? So the rules are different. Interactions will be different. All of this stuff. Now, this film does set up new stories, new threads, new ways of moving forward. So it could be interesting. Supposedly there is a roadmap, I think, for like 4 or so more films, something like that, right? At least another trilogy. So there is potential, but I, you know, I would like to see this played differently. You know, use more imagination. You know, give us a bit more. You don't have to go within the confines of societal norms. You know what I mean? That's what that I feel will make this film really good. Like, it was fine, but you know, like, I don't know, the human stuff, it's a bit like in a Transformer film. It is the letdown of it all. You know what I mean? Just the way they're acting and presenting. You'd think there'd be more fear. Like, the emotions don't necessarily mirror what's going on. It's interesting. I think it's probably better than the last Apes film. I didn't really vibe with that. I thought the best out of the lot was Rise, the first one, 2011. I mean, it's a long time ago, right? But, you know, yeah, so better than the third. It's fine. This is fine. I mean, if you do really like the previous films, you'll probably really like this one, you know? So I think that's it. If you didn't like the other films, you're probably not liking this, you know? So yeah, it all depends what you're thinking of the franchise is. But Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is now on Disney Plus. So yeah, if you have that, you can check it out. Otherwise, you can buy it on other VODs. All right. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.